And what I'll often, the way I'll kind of focus in on that with clients, whether they're highly sensitive or not, is like, let's just talk about meeting the basic needs of life, like hydration,
Yep.
nourishment, rest cues, bathroom cues. And that stands to teach us a lot about our external and internal environments, I think.
Mm-hmm. That's something I've been trying to do more is just take care of my basic needs. Am I hungry? Do I have to go to the bathroom? Do I need a break? Do I need to rest? Can we say more about why that's so important of starting there with our basic cues?
I
How
think
that's helpful?
Yeah, I think for a number of reasons, like we're just as people, all of us are pretty disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
I almost think of it as like a hill we jump over. It's
Okay.
like we come into the world with most of us, depending on our biology, we come into the
Mm-hmm.
world pretty aware of, or we can quickly get to being aware of all of those internal cues and sensations. And then we engage with people socially and we engage in systems that tell us, like, actually, no, you eat on a schedule or you go to the bathroom between classes or, whatever it is. And so I think
Right.
very early on in our development, we actually get pretty disconnected from our internal knowing.
Mm.
And if we're disconnected from our internal knowing about our basic needs, then it becomes, I believe, really challenging to know some of the more complex knowing or to be in access to some of that more complex knowing. Like it's really hard for us to suss out relationship stuff with someone with our emotions and sensations and everything else when like I don't even know when I'm thirsty.
Right. Right.
So
You've
I
completely
think if we
disconnected.
yeah, so if we can like and it's not low threat because it's certainly like hydration and nourishment. Those are like, if we don't have those things, that's very dangerous to our bodies. But they're not typically like up for debate topics. Like most of us would not say like, oh, I don't need water to live or I don't need nourishment to survive, right? So it's not an emotionally laden topic. So,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times I'll be sitting with a client doing somatic work and they're wanting to resolve or work through something very complex. And I'll say we got to start here though. We have to
Yeah.
start with some of these basic needs being attended to because if you can tell me when you're thirsty and just me for the purposes of the session, I know you're going to be better equipped at understanding the variety of sensations that exist in your body.